2, 3, 4. Hello everyone, welcome on to another video. John here. This is a request from Michael. Hello Michael, thanks for this one. Michael wanted to do a bit of Hideaway, the Stevie Ray Vaughan version, kind of like 2 minutes 27 seconds in. So there's some rhythm parts and some lead parts too. So let's go through them and see what trouble we can get into here. So it's a 12-bar blues, which kind of goes like this. If I take away the groove, so it's open E 2 times, 4th fret on the low E twice, and this one 3 times, that's the 2nd fret on the A, and then 4 on the A, 2 on the D, and then back to 4 on the D. Alright, so that's what he's playing, but when you watch in the video, he's not really playing single notes. He's kind of doing his Stevie Ray Vaughan rhythm. Now, like everything Stevie Ray Vaughan, this is a little bit tricky, so let's just kind of go through same notes, all right, but what we're adding is the right hand, and this has to be right, and it has to be correct, because otherwise it's going to go wrong. The rhythm will go wrong. So you have to go down up all the time. If you stop doing that, you're going to end up with 2 ups or 2 downs, and it'll go out. So let's break this bit down into 2 sections. The first bit goes like this. So this is all down, up. So the first note you play, which is an open E, becomes an E5 chord. So just put your first finger on the 2nd fret of the A, and you're going to go down, up. And then down, up on the 4th fret of the low E. But what's important about this is you mute every string apart from that 4th fret of the low E with the underside of your 3rd finger. So we have this. And then down, up on that 2nd fret of the A, and again, that's all muted with the underside of your 1st finger. So section 1, we have this. 2nd section, we have this. So what's happening here is you're going down with a scratch. So you're just holding strings. When you go up on that 4th fret of the A, that's an upstroke, but muted again. Then you're going to go another scratch going down, so far. And then 2 here on the D. So far we've got this. And then the last note is a downstroke on the 4th fret of the A. So that 2nd section. All right, section 1. Section 2. If you put those together, we get this. It's very hard to mute those strings with the underside of your fingers there, so it might sound like this at first. Something like that. So just have to go slow. That's the trick to that one. Okay, let's try and put that together a couple of times slow. And then just before you go into it again, you do an upstroke. Now you're going to move to an A chord, which is the same thing. A little more tricky now because you can't hit that open E. Now what I'm doing here is just moving my thumb across for the A, so it mutes that E string. Back to the E. Right, and again. Now we go to the B. So this is 2 here, twice, and then slide from 4 to 6 on the A, and then 4 to 6 on the D. So the rhythm there, again, you've got to mute this low E. So down, up, scratch. And then up on that 6th fret of the D, back to that 4th fret on the D. So A. Okay, now at the end we have. Now this is just an open E, slide into the 4th fret, and then catch that high E with your, well, I'm doing it with my 3rd finger. You do it with what you feel is right. Hit that 4th fret again, up to the 5th fret, high E again, 5th fret, 6th fret, E. Then you can walk up 0, 1, 2, okay. Okay, so when you're playing this, yeah, when you're playing this, just go slow. It's one of these rhythms that is quite fast. And if you can get that groove, it's quite satisfying. Sounds good. Okay, now, after that, he does some chords here. He goes. So what this is it's a common substitute. What I mean is it's a substitute for an E7 chord. So normally you'd have this type of thing, which is that E9. Some people play E7, that chord or that one. But another very common substitution you can do is this one. So if some guy is going, or you can do that. So what is this chord? Well, this one is 9 on the B, 11 on the G, all right, 12 on the D, and your little finger is on 12th on the high E. We get this chord really is, you could think of it as a 9th chord, E9, because that's the 3rd, that's your root. That note is your 9th, the F sharp, and that's the 7th. And slide off. And then he goes. Then there's a little lick. All right, so this one, pull off 2 on the G to the open G, 2 on the low E, sorry, on the D, 2 on the G, 2 on the D, and then hammer from the open G to the 1st fret on the G. At the end, quick open A, hammer on to the 1st fret of the A, a little bend on 3 on the low E, and then that 2 here on the D, which is an E note, and then the open E. So. That lick. Then he does that again. Now this time he does kind of the same thing, but on the octave on the 12th fret. So after that chord, the E9 chord, that's exactly the same, but we're on 14th fret. So 14 pull off to 12. 14 on the D, 14 on the G, and then 14 on the D, hammer 12 to 13 on the G, and then pull off 14 to 12 on the D. So far we've got this. And then 14, 13, 12, that's the blues scale on the A string. All right. So far we have slide back from 12 to 10, pull off 12 to 10 on the A, 12 on the low E, and then finish by hammering on 10 to 11 on the A string. So if you go from and that's kind of where the track finishes there. So we've got those rhythm parts, it's all kind of a rhythm part, isn't it really? And then these little bits. There we go. So that's those parts for you. Just have a listen to the song, because when you listen to it, he sounds like he's doing that. But the reason I think he plays it this way is just because that's normally what Stevie Ray Vaughan does. And also, if you look at the video, he's not individually kind of picking the notes. He's kind of strumming that, and he's really going for it. So have a listen to that, see which way you prefer. Sometimes it's hard with all the band, you know, to hear exactly what's going on. But I hope that helps. But it's a good groove, you know, just practice it slowly. And it's really good for practicing muting, and it's good for your left hand and good for this. But if you run into trouble with it, it's probably because you're going, you know, 2 downstrokes. If you look at my right hand, if I do, see, I go out of sync. So must do that. Down, up, down, up. Think of Takapuna. Sorry, I live in Takapuna. So think of Piccadilly in England, in London. Piccadilly, Piccadilly. That's the rhythm you want. Anyway, have some fun with that, and see you in the next video.